Miss Norma, you're good to go.
Okay, I will be introducing her. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Jose Valeriano, and I am very pleased to introduce today's presenter, Norma Guadalupe Lopez Rivas, who will be talking about music and language. Ms. Norma is a musician, an English teacher, and a poet who loves sharing her experiences in teaching, using music as a powerful tool. She has represented Honduras along with her colleagues and students in many national and international cultural venues, such as Carnegie Hall in New York City. Her first book of poetry, Un viaje en versos, was published in 2022. So, without further ado, the stage is yours, Ms. Norma.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that great introduction. While I'm getting ready with my presentation over here in the desk, I would like to fix it up and see if you can see whatever I'm trying to present. So can you see right now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Let me organize this and then we're going to be ready to go. What about that? Meanwhile, I want to tell you that something important for me is that you participate if it is possible to open mics and make questions and everything. That will be wonderful. I expect you to participate with me. All right. So let me see. Now, can you see? Can you see my screen?
Yeah,
not yet. Oh, not yet, yeah.
Not yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Let me see. I don't know what is going on in here. Okay. Apparently, I am sharing, but I don't know what's wrong. Let me try to do it again. Okay.
Doing great. Excellent. Perfect.
Okay, here we are, finally. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. And here it is. So, I will start with this because for me, this is a premise and it is very important to say that life without music would be a mistake. This is not one of my phrases. I would like to, but it's Nietzsche, the great German philosopher. So we're going to be talking about, in the following hour, we're going to be talking about what music does for us as an English teacher or any other type of teachers. So first of all, we as humans are music beings. So we can find traces of music all over the world in many civilizations and everything that we can count with. We found music, they did music to communicate, to heal, to entertain, to everything. So music is very important in our life. So today I want to share with you that I will share my experiences. I'm not gonna say a recipe on how does it work and what you need to do in order to work, but I will share with you my experiences. I am a 30 years old teacher, and it happens to be I'm a musician, and also I teach English or Spanish as a second language. So everything that you're gonna hear in here, it's about what I experience, right? And feel free, please, as I said before, to open your mic and share with me and ask questions if you have questions, and share as well all your activities. We, as human, we are not a part of the magic of sounds, right? We can say that we found music in everything we do. And if we talked about language, we can say that we have musicality in the words of our language, with cadence, with rhythms, when we are little babies, we cannot understand when our mom said, hello, my little baby. We do not understand words, but we do understand the melody around that particular phrase, right? So babies, they don't get hello, my little baby, but they get la da 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 da. That melody communicates something. It is telling us that our mom is right there for us. It is communicating sweetness. It is communicating love. It is communicating a lot of things without words. So this is the importance of music when we refer to language. Of course, music got to do with everything, with a lot of things, not only with language. But if we talked about language, is very important. I remember a couple of years ago in the school I teach, a Japanese girl came and she has no English or Spanish, nothing at all. And I was supposed to teach her English. Can you imagine how do we communicate? It was kind of difficult because she couldn't say a word in Spanish or English, and I had to teach her. And my school had that particular method that in a semester, we have a student speaking English or Spanish as a survivor team. So I said, what can I do? What am I going to do to communicate? Of course, I had to use drawings and gestures and everything. But I remember music is language as well. And the first thing I ask my new students, do you play any instrument? Do you know how to sing? Do you enjoy music? And when they said yes, I asked them to tell me how. So I took this girl and she was in the piano and she was playing something. And I said, okay, this is the thing. Tell me, how do you feel today? She couldn't understand a word of what I said, but I played something sad and I said, me? And I played the sad melody. She understood that that word, sad, means to be sad. And I did exactly the same with happy. So by the first week, at least she could say that she was happy or sad. So music, it's a language itself. And this is the most beautiful thing you can do when you are teaching a language. Now, let's try something. Before to listen that, I know that everybody being a teacher, are you teachers? Are you English teachers? Do you teach English?
Not yet.
Not yet, but you are in the process. All
Yes.
right. Anybody else? Well, if you are teaching a language, or you will do that, a very basic song that we use to do this is the ABC song, right? And I hope and I know that you know this song. If you don't know it, no, I think you do. So I'm going to propose right now, let's try something. I want you to sing with me right now. Even though you have your mic off, anyways, I want you to sing the song. So let's sing ABC. Sing it with me. A, B, C, D, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I know my ABC. Next time you sing with me. Nice. You were singing. I can see some of you moving your mouth. Thank you for opening your cameras and see you right there. It is nice. Thank you, Jose. So you were singing. Now I will propose something else. Even though you don't open your camera, but you can open your mics. And I know there are several people in here, but it doesn't matter. I want you to open your mic and sing the same song again with me. Open your mic. It doesn't matter if we listen to many people over there. It is not a big deal for me right now. What I need you to do is I want you to open your mics and sing with me. Can you do that for me? And let's try now. Okay, thank you. Let's try again, and I want to hear your voices. Let's see. Open your mics, everybody. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We teachers, we cannot be shy. So let's see. A, B, C,
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, Y, and Y, and Z.
Now
I know my ABC.
next
Next time, won't
won't
you sing with me?
Nice. Thank you very much for singing with me. I'm going to tell you what we did right now. Believe it or not, now you may close your mic. Thank you. I hear your voices. You know what we did? We connect each other through music. Our heartbeats got connected just because we were singing together. And it doesn't matter if we're through a screen and everything. It doesn't matter. The effect is exactly the same because music has the magic of connect our heartbeats just with a song. And it doesn't matter if we do not sing. If we listen to the song, happens exactly the same thing. Can you believe that magic? We will see why, because the areas in our brain got connected, and not only the brain, but also our heart. Our heartbeats got connected just because we listen to music or we hear music. So the heart responds to the tempo of the songs. We connect our brain with our heart, with our emotions. So the sounds processing begins in the brainstem, exactly in the same place that controls the heartbeat and the respiration. It's exactly the same thing. So that's why it is so important to have music in our lessons. Not, as I said before, not only to teach a language, but also to use it in many other ways, right? Now, let's try something. I want you to listen to this. And I want you to tell me what you feel. Can anybody tell me what do you feel? What makes you feel that?
We cannot hear anything.
No?
No.
No.
Oh, you should say something. Okay. Well, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Can you hear?
Kind of.
Sounds a little bit muffled. Like we hear a little bit and then we don't hear anything.
Can you hear now?
It's like cutting off. The sound is cutting off.
Okay, if it is cutting off, it could be because of the internet, probably. But can you distinguish something? The song, at least? Something?
No,
Nothing?
it's very difficult because I couldn't hear anything.
Anything at all?
Anything at all.
I heard a trumpet, I guess.
Exactly. There you go. Trumpet. This song, it's called The Fly of the Bumblebee. I don't know if you know the song, but it is a very fast song. And what I wanted to do is just to connect you with that song. Let me see if you can hear the following song. Give me this or this. Could you hear that? Kind of?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit,
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's an instrument, but I cannot recognize which one.
Okay, fine. It was a melodic, but what about the feeling of the first song and the feeling of the second song? Could you identify that? So if you couldn't, we're gonna do something in here. If you couldn't do that, let's do this. The first song was kind of this one. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. First one was that. And the second one was something like this. Now, can you see the difference? Yes? No? Kinda? Can you tell me?
Yeah, kind of, yes.
Can you tell me what do you feel? What was the first one and the second one?
The second one was more like active song.
There you go, Karen. Thank you. More like active. Or you can say
Yeah.
like
Merengue, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, exactly. Why not? Exactly. That's fine. It was like happier song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It is because and we can use music like this as well. We can connect our feelings through music. And if I want a group of students to be calm down and relax, I will put something calm down to calm their but their mood. They can change the mood. Let's imagine those kids are coming from the recess. They have lunch and we're running, screaming, eating. And when they enter the room, they are so excited. And we need them to calm down. So we can put that piece of music that is going to be calm down. And then the mood will go down until you have it ready to start the class. It's another way to use music, right? Do you agree?
I do.
Yes.
Have you used those?
Yeah, we can create different atmospheres just with music.
Exactly. That's why. It's pretty cool. I have a video right now, but I'm worried about if you can hear or not. But let me see. Let me try. And you tell me, please, since I start a video, I want thumbs up if you can listen very well. Or if not, give me that. And I'm going to try another way. All right. This is how does it works. This is how the music act out in our brain. Here it is. Can you hear?
No, I think I know what the problem is, maybe.
Know that
What
every
you
time
can do
musicians pick up their
is
instruments, there are
now we could
It
hear a little
does?
bit, but I think it's sharing the sound of your
Now I
computer,
can hear
maybe.
Now you can hear well. Maybe was
yeah.
that. Okay, here it is. Here we go.
fireworks going off all over their brain. On the outside, they may look calm and focused, reading the music and making the precise and practiced movements required. But inside their brains, there's a party going on. How do we know this? Well, in the last few decades, neuroscientists have made enormous breakthroughs in understanding how our brains work by monitoring them in real time with instruments like fMRI and PET scanners. When people are hooked up to these machines, tasks such as reading or doing math problems each have corresponding areas of the brain where activity can be observed. But when researchers got the participants to listen to music, they saw fireworks. Multiple areas of their brains were lighting up at once as they processed the sound, took it apart to understand elements like melody and rhythm, and then put it all back together into unified musical experience. And our brains do all this work in the split second between when we first hear the music and when our foot starts to tap along. But when scientists turn from observing the brains of music listeners to those of musicians, the little backyard fireworks became a jubilee. It turns out that while listening to music engages the brain in some pretty interesting activities, playing music is the brain's equivalent of a full body workout. The neuroscientists saw multiple areas of the brain light up, simultaneously processing different information in intricate, interrelated, and astonishingly fast sequences. But what is it about making music that sets the brain alight? The research is still fairly new, but neuroscientists have a pretty good idea. Playing a musical instrument engages practically every area of the brain at once, especially the visual, auditory, and motor cortices. And as with any other workout, disciplined, structured practice in playing music strengthens those brain functions, allowing us to apply that strength to other activities. The most obvious difference between listening to music and playing it is that the latter requires fine motor skills, which are controlled in both hemispheres of the brain. It also combines the linguistic and mathematical precision in which the left hemisphere is more involved, with the novel and creative content that the right excels in. For these reasons, playing music has been found to increase the volume and activity in the brain's corpus callosum, the bridge between the two hemispheres, allowing messages to get across the brain faster and through more diverse routes. This may allow musicians to solve problems.
What happened? Well, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear you
yes.
perfectly.
Okay. Here it is. So you saw the video that how does it happen? What really happens is the synapses of the ear. Music makes our neurons to communicate better. Synapses is that exactly like electricity that happens between one neuron and another. So they communicate better, they relax, and then that's why we can focus. That's why some parts of our brain get to develop more, and then the magic of music with learning happens. It's basically what it is. You saw the neurons over there, right? So if we talked about the brain, music and emotion share exactly the same brain regions. Some areas of the brain are activated when we listen to music. The prefrontal cortex, the one we have over here, the one who's related with recovery things. So we're talking about memory. When we are learning a language, of course, we need to remember things. But if we talked about in general, everything that you use with music will stick in your brain forever, I will say. I will give you an example. When I was like in third grade, it was a long time ago, 40 years ago, or maybe more. My teacher, my third grade teacher, wanted us to learn the solar system planets. And she did it through a song. And not only we sang that little song, but also we got involved to make the song. So that makes me remember the name of the planet still today. And it is El Sistema Solar, 9 planetas están alrededor del Sol, Mercurio y Venus, Tierra y Marte, Júpiter, Saturno, Urano, Neptuno y Plutón. Well, Pluto is sometimes, it is a planet and not, but it is right here because of the music. So music, it is exactly related to recover things. It is also activate the right temporal lobe, which register the rhythm and emotional tone. We already discussed about happy melodies and sad melodies are connected directly with our brain. And of course, it talks about over here, the limbic system, which we have the melody recognition and the emotional part, right? That's why it is nice, it is important, not only nice, but important to listen to some music. So I want you to pay attention on this statement I have in here. Every person has their own life playlist. Have you ever think about this? A playlist of your life? Well, if you haven't, I wanted to have that statement over here, and I will invite you to see the following video that talks about this ancient civilization, which is the Greece, that they taught us a lot of things. And of course, our tongue and everything comes from there. And I want you to pay attention to what they propose, talking about the playlist of our life, or talking about the music in our lives. Here it is.
We live in a society obsessed with music. We use music to worship, tell stories, to celebrate, to work, exercise, declare our love, and sometimes our hatred, and arguably, most importantly, to dance. And of course, we play music ourselves because, well, it's a pleasant thing to do. Thousands of years ago in ancient Greece, when it came to music, things weren't much different. They might have had lyres and tunics instead of MP3 players and jeans, but the ancient Greeks were just as obsessed with music as we are today. In fact, music was such an important part of ancient Greek society that it makes us seem tame by comparison. To really understand just how integral music was to the ancient Greeks, let's begin by acquainting ourselves with a bit of their mythology. In ancient Greek mythology, it was believed that human creativity was the result of divine inspiration from a group of goddesses known as the Muses. While scholars have argued over the years that there are anything between 3 and 13 muses, the standard number accepted today is 9. Each muse oversees her own specific area of artistic expertise, ranging from song and dance to history and astronomy. It might seem strange to categorize history and astronomy as creative pursuits, but the ancient Greeks saw these disciplines as more than just school subjects.
I want you to pay attention on this before we continue. Ancient Greek says that it is not important to become a doctor. It is important to know how to read poetry. It is not important to be a lawyer. It is important to feel connected with what you listen, or the importance of literature. Important detail. Let's continue.
These were the hallmarks of civilization in what, to their eyes, was a pretty barbaric world. An educated, civilized person was expected to be proficient in all aspects of creative thought inspired by the Muses, and the common medium through which these disciplines were taught, studied, and disseminated was music.
That statement is the most powerful for me, not only because I'm a music teacher, but also because I'm an educator. So if we integrate music in everything we do, we're going to have very good success with our students.
You see, it's no coincidence that the word muse is very similar to the word music. It's where the word originates. Poetry, be it a love poem or an epic poem about a dragon-slaying hero, was sung with a musical accompaniment. Dancing and singing, obviously, were accompanied by music. Theatre was always a combination of spoken word and music. History was recounted through song. Even the study of astronomy was linked to the same physical principles as musical harmony, such as the belief held by many Greek thinkers that each of the planets and stars created their own unique sound as they travelled through the cosmos, thrumming like an enormous guitar string light years long. However, music pervaded more aspects of their lives than just education. Ancient Greeks considered music to be the basis for understanding the fundamental interconnectedness of all things in the universe.
Can you hear that? Everything for them was related to music.
This concept of connectivity is known as harmonia, and it's where we get the word harmony. Music was used as a form of medicine to treat illnesses and physical complaints.
This is not far of reality right now. We do use music to heal, right? Not only when we are sad or when we are happy, but there's a program, a healing program through music.
As a vital accompaniment to sporting contests, and as a means to keep workers in time as they toiled away on monotonous or menial tasks. One of the most important applications of music in ancient Greek society is found in the belief that music can affect a person's ethos.
A person ethos. And here it is where we're talking about your playlist. Listen carefully.
A word we still use today, ethos is a person's guiding beliefs or personal ethics, the way that one behaves towards oneself and others. The Greek philosopher Plato, one of the most famous and influential Greek thinkers at the time, asserted that music had a direct effect on a person's ethos. Certain kinds of music would incite a person to violence, while others could placate a person into a benign, unthinking stupor.
Does it sound familiar for nowadays? Look
Yes,
what
it
we get.
does. It
Uh-huh.
does.
It
Totally.
does, right?
Yeah,
It
because
does.
you know, it depends on the kind of music that you listen to. That will be your personality, your character, everything.
Everything. So
Yeah.
they were not far away from what we have right now. Because we're talking about human beings, we're talking about humanity. It is exactly the same.
According to Plato, only very specific types of music were beneficial to a person's ethos. One should only listen to music that promotes intelligence, self-discipline, and courage, and all other kinds of music must be avoided. Furthermore, Plato fervently denounced any music that deviated from established musical conventions, fearing that doing so would lead to the degradation of the standards of civilization, the corruption of youth, and eventually complete and utter anarchy. While Plato's fears can seem extreme, this argument has appeared in modern times to condemn musical trends such as jazz or punk or rap. What do you think Plato would say about the music you listen to? Is it beneficial to your ethos? Or will it degenerate you into a gibbering, amoral barbarian?
It is a very interesting proposal, huh? So let's go back to this question. What is I'm gonna do it right now with you, not everybody, but with you. I want you to take just 30 seconds to think about your life playlist. How is it? Where is it? Do you have a live playlist? Do you use one in your classrooms? Do you transmit these to your students? Make us think, right? And sometimes somebody told me, well, but you as a music teacher, you could say that reggaeton is a bad type of music to teach. And no, not at all. I will say, as Plato used to say in there, it is lyrics, what is going to feed our soul. And with that is what we were going to move and we were going to teach, right? So I want you to think about in your playlist, in your live playlist. By the end of this talking, we're going to discuss a little bit about that. But let's see. Music stimulates, as we see, music stimulates the cognitive development also, as well as language and reasoning, right? We can develop that very well. As we said, using songs in music. A very good example, if you're telling me that you teach, some of you are trying to teach and everything, if we go back again to the ABC song, a very good way to use music to teach a language is through songs, of course. We know, I don't know if you have used this in your classes, but a very good way is to use a song that we already know. If we don't want to use lyrics, let's say, in reggaeton, just to give you an example, but rhythm is nice and connect with students very well. Because of the rhythm, we already know that we connect brain with heart because of the heartbeats and everything. They will move and they will be happy. Why don't we change lyrics of a song and make it just like that for a specific topic in our class? We can do that very well. And in that way, we're going to use a rhythm that they like, introducing my topic, and it will be fine. I will propose something right now, since you already know the ABC. What about if you use a topic? Let's use like 2 or 3 minutes to do this, and then you may change lyrics of the ABC. If you want to teach the verb to be, for example, our beloved, famous, and well-known verb to be. How can you use it using singing in another song using the ABC? With the same melody, changing lyrics. You think you can do that? What if you make the little exercise right now, right there with you, just you and thinking on lyrics? I will say, for example, I want to learn the verb to be. I am you, your she's something like that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's take 2 minutes to see if we can change a little bit some lyrics. And if you want to share with us, I mean, I would like somebody to share with us a little bit, at least of that. Amilcar, yes.
Just an idea about the fruits.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Apples, bananas, strawberries, and watermelon.
Excellent.
They
There
are
you
my
go.
favorite fruits to eat.
Excellent. There you go. Pretty good. You see, music, and we can use it to vocabulary. We can use it to verbs if you want to do it with the tense of the verbs in past or everything we want to do. We can use music in order to do that. Not only listen to that, but also make them create. If you put your students to create like any other person, they will feel powerful because they think that they are doing the things. This is my song, miss. I will sing it proudly because I know, I produce, I came up with the lyrics. So they feel like they are doing something besides learning. I am, you are, he is, she is, and you know, that's another way to do it. As you know, I'm pretty sure you have heard that, and the size of a brain, that's why this is the way the brain works, right? We have the learning a language is in the left side of the brain. Here we go. So we know that we use that part of the brain to learn another language. But, and this is the right function of our brain. What I need to do is use the music to reinforce all of these things that I can do with my left brain. And of course, spatially talking about language. That's what I do. I identify myself and I know my right side is the one who works better because I'm a musician, right? But here it is. With music, we also can increase our creativity. We did it right now. Amilcar did it right now with a song, right in 2 seconds. It is very easy to increase our creativity. You can, as we said before, it happens because our brain is making a better synapses and can communicate better. That's what it is. That's the power of music using this. Also, as we said, we can develop memorization. And do you think it's important when we teach a language, memorization? Yes? In which
It can be.
It can be. There you go. Nowadays, when we're talking about language or when we are talking education in general, memorization it's a thing that we can use, but it's not all as they did in my time, for example, that I had to do. But can you tell me any other way to learn las tablas, for example? We have to memorize them. I mean, memorization has a function that can be developed with music as well. Not everything we're going to use with memorization, but it is important to develop that part as well because we need it. Sometimes some of the irregular verbs in English were impossible for me if I didn't memorize them, you know? So it is not bad to use it. Another things that we can use our brain with, let me see. Got to move. Here it is. Let me see. Okay. We're talking about the self-esteem. Do you know in which way music can help self-esteem? And I'm talking about not only language, as I said before, because it is important to know what happened in all our learning process. Can you name any example of how we can use music to reinforce self-esteem? Besides this one, of course. Anybody?
For example, I think there are many songs that are about, this positivity like feeling good about yourself and the things you do and your accomplishments, etc.,
Exactly.
etc. So if you listen to those things, some of it is going to stick with you.
Exactly. There you go. And you know what else? If you put somebody to learn a song in English, which is the case right now, by the end of the song, they're able to sing and they are able to do it together. They will feel the success because they already learned something, and they will make that person feel happy. Not only with kids. I mean, we're talking about teaching a language as a second, teaching English as a second language as well, not only with kids, but also with adults. We feel proud of ourselves when we do something. This is not only for kids. And sometimes people think that music is only when we are teaching little kids, and it is not true. We can have, of course, I'm not going to use the same songs for kids that the ones I'm going to use for the adults, right? And I can use some other type of music, but it will also help them a lot. Pretty sure you have heard about the Mozart effect, because music helps concentration, right? Concentration, to focus, as we said before, it is basically because of this, of the synapse. It is what it is. Look, those little neurons communicate better. For instance, the brain segregate the dopamine. The dopamine is that neurotransmitter that helps us to feel happy and learn better. If you're happy, you're going to learn better. That's what it is. Music helps us to do that. Let me play a little bit of Mozart. I don't know if you're going to be able to listen to the problem, but here it is. Vamos a ver. This is Mozart music.
We cannot hear the song.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what is happening.
I think the problem is that maybe you're not sharing the audio of your PC. It can happen that maybe you can like try to share the screen again, and there's like a little box at the bottom that says share audio too.
Yeah, share
right.
sound, something like that
Yeah.
before you.
When it says sharing, when
Yeah,
I
you can stop sharing, you can start sharing again, and there's a little box that says share
Yeah.
sound.
okay, I'm gonna try, but I need to stop sharing my screen. Is that what you said?
Yes, and you can start sharing again. And
Okay,
just check that box.
I'm going to try it right now. And
Point
let
the
me
little box at your left
Okay.
and share it.
Can you hear? Now better, right? Thank you for the tip.
Yes.
Thank you for the tip. That's Mozart. This is one of the piano sonatas. This is the number 16, and one of the, what they said that produces more synapses. You have heard this before, right? I'm pretty sure. And it says, it proposes that why Mozart? There's no study that proved that as a fact. But Mozart music, what it is very sharp, and it is very moved, and that's what increases what we can hear, and increases the communication. So it can happen with another type of music as well. People used to ask me, but do I need to use only classical music in order to do this? And I said, no, not necessarily. You can use any other type of music as well, and it will work. Right here, another aspect that is very important with music and language is exactly the pattern recognition. How, of course, you being teachers know that recognize pattern in a language is very important in order to teach a language, right? The repetitive use of verbs, for example, in the beginning of a recipe if we're using that, or the chorus of a song that repeats and repeats and repeats, right? It will help you out to reinforce the language very nicely. But you will say, but how? How do I do that? Well, do I need to be a music teacher in order to do that? Well, no. We have many resources nowadays that we can use. I'm going to introduce you just one, and this is called musicogramma. The musicogrammas are patterns in music that you can do with your students, like exercise the brain in order to develop, right, the left area in which we have the language learning. I'm going to show you this. This is with classical music, but you can do it with any other type of music. And you can do it, write it down in a paper, and your student can follow it with you. As a matter of fact, I want you to try to do it on the air right now, following the music. Do it if you want to. Patterns. Listen to music. Pam, pam, pam. Tara. Well, it was an example. You see, you can do that in order to develop that part of the brain. And then after that, go ahead with your class in language. It is very easy, and you can do it with any type of music. What the brain recognizes is it's exactly the patterns. And then it will get developed very, very nicely. You have any questions so far, so forth? Any comments? Something that you would like to say? Heading to the conclusions of it, here we can say, then, the music is like the gym for the brain, right? If we use it, if we develop that, everything is going to be easier for us and for the students, right? And since the music stimulates the left side of the brain, so we can learn a language better in that part where the language, logic, and numbers take place. I will open right now to questions or something that you would like to share. I would like to hear experience that you have had in your classes. You're free to talk if you want to.
No, I just thank you, because this was an interesting presentation of how music develop a meaningful learning in the classroom. And I have no experience giving classes to children, but I hope so in the future. But I think music is a very important thing to do in classroom. Without that, the class is like boring, you know, and I think this is an important thing to do in the classroom. And also, let me tell you that I love to sing.
Nice.
I love it. So I think this is what is I don't know. It's my it's strange as a teacher, I guess. I don't know how comes that, but it comes just like that. And and thank you for this, and thank you for remind us that we without music, there's no life. Thank you.
There's no life. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Of course, some of the things that you can use when you are teaching a language to reinforce as well. Everything that you are trying to do with kids is to implement rhythm with them. If we use melody, but also we move our body, we're gonna have a fixation of knowledge over here. For example, I will make you do something else right now. I want you to do. I'm sorry, gotta be in my laps. Do you recognize this pattern? Anybody knows that song? If you know it, sing it. Do it. Anybody knows it? No? Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's the Queen song.
Exactly. We will rock you, because we are using some other part. It is universal, so it will stick over there. I remember, again, my elementary school, when one of my teachers tried to introduce everybody in the class. And nowadays, I'm 50 now. And I remember the name of my classmates when we were in first grade. And I remember Dalia, Gemima, Padilla, Quintanilla, the whole name, because it put rhythm with that particular name. And every single time I'm still friends with her. And when I see her, we do exactly the same. She did my name and I do her name just because of that. We're talking about 45 years ago.
Yeah, it's a meaningful learning.
It's meaningful. There you go. Exactly that. We have a meaningful learning. If we use music, it is not only because we like it, of course. It is amazing, right? To have music in our lives, but also because it is very helpful. And Oscar Wilde used to say that music is the art which is most nigh to tears and memories. So he said it before, and we have it right away. Somebody else want to share something that have used in classes and it is helpful for you?
I raised my hand and Norma did not see me.
I'm sorry.
It's good to see you again. I was not in the whole session, but I always enjoy your presentations. And I believe we should have more of you and from you in this type of conferences. One of the things with music is that, as you were saying, it's not just for little kids. You know, it really works with adults. If we remember the 7 intelligences, and some of our students really love music. And I would say, sometimes we think about our students and the song they will like, but we also, as teachers, enjoy, you know, following those patterns, the clapping, following shapes
musical
and
grams.
the dots, exactly. And the thing is, like clapping songs and just following the pattern of the song, it will relax us as teachers.
Exactly.
Especially when we're having those bad days. So we could use that to introduce our classes. And it doesn't have just to be language classes. It can be those advanced courses also, just to have a good introduction to wake up students, to open up our minds. And again, it's good to see you and to learn from you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for your words. Well, yes, you're right. I didn't see you. I was having troubles with my screen set and everything, but thank you for your words. It's been a pleasure to be here again. And of course, if I have the chance in the future, I'll be here. I'd love to do this now through the screen, but if we are face-to-face will be better, I guess. So thank you for the invitation. And I don't know if you have any other question, if you have something else to add. here we are. We still have 1 more minute, I think.
Well, I just want to add, I want to tell you to thank you for this great presentation. I think we all have enjoyed it so much. And thanks for reminding us that music can be a valuable tool for learning English, and reminding us that students can learn from music a lot of things, such as listening skills, pronunciation, which is very important for us, and when learning a second language. So thank you so much. I have really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Keep and please think about the playlist of your life. I leave you with that, and I want you to think about what is your life playlist, because we do have music. Life without music will be a mistake, as I proposed in the beginning, as Nietzsche says. So think about it and put some songs in that playlist and live your life like that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks to you especially, and thank you everyone for your time. I think this is the last presentation of today, but remember that you can have this way. You can look at the Sway link and you can see the other presentations for tomorrow and for Saturday. So again, thank you everyone, and thank you, Ms. Norma, for your amazing presentation. I enjoyed it a lot. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.